Alrighty, here we are on the InfoWars. Leftist London Mayor Sadiq Khan warns of resurgent fascism as Trump returns to power. Well, let's get into it. The looming specter of fascism threatens to destroy my democracy with the rise of right-wing populism in Europe and in the US with Donald Trump's return to office. Khan has compared the growing worldwide discontent with left-wing politicians and policies with the rise of fascism of the 1920s and 30s. The far right is on the march, Khan exclaimed. From Switzerland, Sweden to Hungary, Austria, and Italy, European nations are coming under the influence of extreme nativist parties that are hostile to democratic institutions, immigrant populations, and fact-based journalism. That's the first time I've heard nativist. So apparently nativist is people who are born in that country. I would go a step further and say ethnic nativist, but okay. Maybe instead of labeling everybody as fascisti and racy, maybe Sadiq Khan and other leftists should ponder why these far-right anti-immigration parties are gaining popularity. Maybe it's because of all the migrant crime. Or how about all the handouts, the gimme dats that the migrants and refugees get? Maybe people are tired of their tax dollars going to things like that. The far right are sowing fear and division across the globe. Funny, I would accuse the left of doing that because if you disagree with the left, they call you a Nazi, or a fascisti, or a racy. And that was on full display with Trump over the past, decade almost? Progressives must act by tackling online hate, in other words, speech they hate, challenging extremist rhetoric. But how do you challenge extremist rhetoric if you ban speech you hate? And proving democracy can deliver for all. But that's just it, isn't it? He's talking about the rise of right-wing parties. These parties were democratically elected. So that's democracy in action. But he's speaking out against these parties, calling them fascisti. And now he's saying democracy can deliver for all. Democracy doesn't deliver for all. Democracy is majority of votes wins. So what happens to the minority? They get shafted. And more European countries, the people are voting for these anti-immigration parties because they're tired of seeing what immigration is doing to their country and their way of life and their people. In Deutschland, the AfD is on course for a breakthrough in next month's federal elections. In France, the National Rally is topping the presidential polls, and of course, in the US, Donald Trump is back. He lamented. Is he still upset because Trump called him a stone-cold loser? Probably. Khan then pushed the race card. Well, of course he did, claiming the rise of right-wing popularism is deeply worrying, especially if you're a member of a minority community. Hey, if you're so worried, you could always leave. Because the will of the people spoke, so if it bothers you, you can easily leave. We should be in no doubt this is a perilous moment. The specter of a resurgent fascism, I would say it's already here, but anyway, haunts the West, Khan declared. The mayor, who President-elect Trump has called a stone-cold loser for failing to address record knife attacks in London, is now calling upon globalist leaders to inoculate our societies against the virus of far-right populism. History shows us the time to act is now. So by inoculate, you mean if the AfD wins, you just call them a far-right extremist party and have the election canceled? Because didn't they do that in Romania? Romania's constitutional court earlier this month annulled the results of its election after right-wing nationalist candidate Călin Georgescu won the presidential runoff. It's funny how these lefties, they love democracy when it's working in their favor, i.e. they're winning, but as soon as they're not winning, oh my god. Khan rallied against free flow of information on social media thanks to X, claiming it's fueling racy and polarization. He also criticized Elon Musk for using X as a propaganda tool to amplify lies and advance the cause of far right. Again, back before Elon bought it, I would say the reverse was true. It pushed leftist propaganda. How do I know this? As soon as Elon Musk bought it and said he would bring back free speech to X, everybody on the left was freaking out and leaving X for, what was it called, Blue Sky or something? Khan called for more censorship via the UK's Online Safety Act. So wait, you say you're a free and open society, but you want more censorship. When I think of fascisty countries, I think of countries that have restricted freedom of speech. And what is this Khan guy doing? He wants more censorship. Who's the real fascisti? This comes a week after former EU Commissioner Thierry Breton accidentally confessed that the EU stole the Romanian election and threatened to do the same in Germany if the AfD came to power. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. The EU also on Friday demanded that Elon Musk surrender the X's algorithm amid an investigation into the platform after Musk endorsed Germany's right-wing AfD party ahead of the country's election next month. I don't think he'll give him the algorithm. I hope not. But, anywho, that's it for my thoughts on this matter. Take care out there in Clown World.